Guys, this is a tutorial on how to make a 3x3 piston doorway. I made this already, but I forgot that I wasn't recording sound, so I'm going to try and do this a lot faster because it was 18 minutes last time. So what we do is we put pistons 2 blocks, well, 1 block away from the door, and we do a spiral formation, making it on the other side each time. So you're going to find your way of placing these pistons. As you can see in my video I posted, I had quite a bit of trouble figuring out the placement for the bottom pistons, and put these in a spiral formation. You do not want to put these in the wrong spiral formation or it will not work. These have to be sticky pistons or it will not pull the block out. That should be kind of implied. I'm going to turn my sound down and not quit the game. That was the wrong thing. I'm going to turn my sound down the other way so I don't quit the game accidentally. I'm trying to talk very fast just because I think it would make my video a little bit more fun instead of boring, hey, this is how to make a 3x3 piston. But basically, this is going to be a little awkward because there's bedrock down there. I'm not going to run into that. And since this is on that side, just take in everything you're seeing. It's not really a very easy way to explain how the spiral works, but once you've seen it, you can copy it. You can do it the other way, but just don't. So spiral, this is on the bottom. It's always on the same area like that. Now we're going to wire up each one of these little pistons separately instead of overloading our minds. So the cool thing about pistons is they get powered in cool little ways. If I power this block with redstone, then the piston will be extended because it is adjacent, or right next to you, for the less vocabulary people. So it will also power it. Over here, it powers the top block, which I'm guessing is considered a block that will power the bottom piston. So now, when we do a formation like this, both will be powered. When we come over here, we will bring it up. So it's like this. The actual redstone will be on the level of the top piston. Now when we power it, they will both be extended. I'm going to break these so they will be pulled backwards. And then we're going to work on the top next. I'm going to show you a bit easier way to do this. There are lots of different ways to do this entire thing, and there's lots of different ways to do it wrong. We're going to pull this back quite a bit so it does not interfere with the actual doorway. What we're going to do is also connect this. You can do most of this underground or in the walls, which is more preferred than below, because sometimes below can be a little bit more tedious and annoying. You're going to bring this over. You can just pretty much morph my actions to your area, since your area will probably be quite small compared to how you thought this would be. But you can contract this line, you can put it into there, however you need to do it. I'm basically going to connect each of the little piston's wires so they're all going to be powered from one source. Now, to do the top piston, we're going to break this off, bring it up, and we're going to bring it above the pistons. We're going to place blocks above the pistons. And we're going to bring this to the same level as all the pistons are at, top pistons. And we're going to make a little bit of a platform, maybe placing blocks or maybe breaking blocks if you're digging underground. You're going to need to bring it into the block, connect it here, bring it around, bring it into the block. Doing something like this will not work. Doing something like this will also not work if you're weird and you want to do that. You need to bring it so it's straight into the block and it's not like that. Now that these are both straight into the block is powered, therefore making these powered. So now, if you can see, these will all be powered, but there's one little problem. This is too far away from the actual power source. Now keep in mind which way the power is running, because if I place a repeater this direction, nothing's going to happen. But when the power is placed this direction, then it goes in there instead of through the end. And it makes it all the way, and it has a strange problem I've run into before. But it's different than the problem before. So we need to find where it actually stops, which will be about right here, and we want to make sure it makes all the way over. When you have it complete, then both will be pressed. I have this a little bit farther out and extended than it needs to be, which is why that was a little bit harder. But when you have it more compact, it'll be a lot easier with how far its zone reaches. So it reaches about 15 or 16 blocks, 1/2. And what we're going to do is, actually, we may work on the timing, which can make things a little bit more smooth and cool. So I'm going to make this extend first, so no repeater here. Then I'm going to make this one extend. So what I'm going to do is make things more complicated than they need to be. I'm going to bring this back, and I'm going to bring this back, basically so that we can fit a repeater in here. That's the only reason for all this. So now when this gets powered, this one goes first and this one goes second. Now we make the third one. So I'm just going to time these all by 4 notches on a repeater. So now when we place this, then they each get timed. You can't actually see it from the angle I have, but you'll see in the end. So now we're going to wire up the bottom one, which can be a little bit, well, I guess the top one is actually the most complicated. This one, you're going to need a lot of repeaters for this. I got about 20, and 30 will make you pretty much safe no matter what, unless you're doing some weird spread out huge version. This is pretty compact. I didn't need to mill it all the way that far. Now we bring this over to the main wire. If you were to bring this over to here, then I believe that would make a loop, and that would be bad, and a whole bunch of stuff. So you have to make sure the main wire, before any repeaters are there, is where it connects to. Now, when this is powered, and over here, this does not get the power because it's too far away. So we're going to put a repeater here. The only reason I need so many repeaters is because it's so spread out. You're going to make this a lot more compact. Probably bring this wire around here and just scrunch things in a lot more. This is just so you can see. Now, this has stopped working. A bunch of problems I have caused because of this. So let's try and check the timing again. This is 1, this is 1. This one will be second, and third, and this one will be fourth. So it needs 3 repeaters. And now, when this is powered, I'm going to bring this all back. You do not need to do this, okay, you do not. This is just so you can see it getting powered. So basically, I'm going to put a repeater here so it gets full way. And this is just a demonstration. So it goes in time with each other. So let's just get rid of this. Let's use this stuff that can be confusing. So now what we're going to do is power it so it's closed. It'll be a little bit easier that way. And now we're going to build a little pathway just so we can get things laid out a little bit better. This is how you can do it. You can put everything pretty much underground. It is fairly easy to hide because open redstone is actually not very fun to look at. My area was a little bit defective. I had a room too close to where I built this, and I may move that, but that's just me. You're going to probably want to build this before you put things too close to your entrance. This is just for looks, so you can put things together. Next, I believe the next part is the buttons. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your buttons, and a smart thing to do is to put a different block here to put your button on. Not only is it nicer so you can see where you need to bring it out from back here. So we're going to do each button by itself. We're going to do the rest of it over here. You may want to do it right here if you have things more compact, but anyway, The main contraption for this is called an RS NOR latch, I believe. Basically, what it does is when you can use sticky pistons, but why would you? You can use normal pistons for this. What this does is when the power from up top is powered and then turned off, like a button does, wink wink, then the block will switch. The main important thing of this is that we have a torch under here, so when it's in this position, this redstone gets powered. This does not. But we're going to just have it on the side where this is. This is a demonstration, it's not going to be a part of that. So basically, that's powered. When we press our button, or make a flicker, then it's turned off because this is over here. So, let's bring that over here to be incorporated into our big contraption. So we're going to bring it off the ground just to make it a little bit easier to do the bottom part. And accent through there. I'm going to put these under the torches, and then you're going to put the block, and then you're going to put this. If you put the block last, you can't because that will close. So that's just a little thing you'll run into. It's not that big of a deal, you can just break the blocks. But now, what we need to do is put the torch under. We do not want to forget that, or things will be very angry. And now, okay, this, where the torch is, will be brought off to here. We're going to get rid of our power source so things aren't all weird and screwed up. Now, this will be a bit more pulled out. Make sure everything is turned on. You need to really be worried about redstone not reaching that far. So now that that's right there, we need to turn on use the buttons. So what we do is we put a block here. Buttons are a bit more fortunate than pistons because we can do this and it will still be powered. So just bring it around the corner so you can see it's powered. So we don't need to make it going directly into the block. The button is on, which is that birch wood. So basically the buttons, both of them, we're going to have two, so it can be open from either side of your doorway. Be connected to this right here. This will branch off into here, and now we have the first side of everything done. Now, as you can see, there's a bit of a little technicality. Right here, these blocks are gone. A simple way to fix that is to fill in these. These will not interfere with the pistons being pushed. They're just to make it so that your tunnel is not all weird. Now you're going to bring this over so you have something to walk on and you're not walking on pistons and repeaters. We're going to bring this out just like the other side so it looks nice and pretty. Now we're going to bring this out. And the ceiling isn't even that needed for this demonstration whatsoever, just the side and the floor so I can walk on it. Now we're going to make the button. It can be pretty much at any of these spots, but I'm just going to put it here so it can be easier to connect to over there. Now, you have to, like I said, remember which way power is going when you place repeaters. The power is actually going that way, out from the button. So what we're going to do is bring this away from all that wiring so it doesn't interfere with things. That would screw up a lot of stuff, and you'd probably have a very flashy door, as in it opens and closes whenever you press the button. So we're going to bring this over and place a repeater because it's going to have run out by now. Now it has its power continued. I'm going to bring it over, not to that one, that's the wrong one. I'm going to bring it and we can actually connect it to the same wire as this one, so we're just going to branch this off. It's going to have a repeater maybe right there. Yours is going to be a little bit less weird, but basically, as you can see, they can look very different depending on what you're doing. This is another one I did. They'll have a lot of weird little formations, but all you need to do is make sure redstone's not cut off from your ceilings or whatever. And we come all the way back over here, and now you'll see, I'm going to press this button. Why would we do that then? So when we walk up, press the button. You can get rid of the timing so it's a lot faster, but you know. You want it to look cool and you want it to be efficient. That's your choice. And now it will close from over here if the power gets all the way, which it obviously doesn't. So it gets to there, and now goes over to here. I'm going to put a repeater here so it gets all the way. This is problems we'll run into, and now it works. So that was the problem, it wasn't getting all the way, so we just needed to put a repeater. So now it'll open from both, open and close from either side. That is how you make a 3x3 spiral piston door. I'll show you, this is all done. Just another completely off thing that just so happens to also have to do with redstone. Captain Sparkle showed us a weird little trick that I can't even remember with glowstone. It had something to do with how the power travels. So basically, we now know that glowstone is incorporated with redstone contraptions. One thing I figured out while doing my intro that I used a little while back is another way to do a little one-way type thing. Redstone from repeaters is one way. But glowstone can actually also be used as one way in another thing. So, as you can see, redstone goes up, but it does not go down. So we can split this off in all directions. It just plain cannot go down from the glowstone block. To get it down, what you need to do is put a block like that. And repeaters, they can not take power from it, no matter what. And let's just see what happens if we do this. No matter what, power does not leave the glowstone block. It will take it and be greedy and keep it to itself. So now we all should hate glowstone and use redstone lamps for the rest of our lives.